Hello, and welcome back to Wyvern-Hearted Ink and Friends. My name is Claymore, and today I am going to be building my terrarium for my lovely little spider pet, Vaermina. I've been meaning to do this for a while. It's just been a process of first I wanted a spider, and I took a long time deciding that I actually was going to get one. I was worried about all of the research that I needed to do and whether or not I was the right fit for someone to own a spider, because there are very specific care needs for different types of spiders. But I ended up landing on a versicolor tarantula. She is very beautiful. I say she, I don't know what her gender is. They're about 6 months-ish old now, and they're finally starting to get big enough that I don't feel very comfortable keeping them in the container that they came in originally. So it's finally time to build their bioactive terrarium. I haven't seen a ton of people on YouTube make bioactive terrariums specifically for spiders, and I think it's because spiders take up so little space and they just don't have a ton of need for all that space. But if I'm gonna have a creature that stays inside of a tank and that's its entire lifetime is inside that tank, I want it to still be beautiful, and I want it to be something that I want to come and look at and go and check on them, and not just be some plastic bin somewhere. So I did a lot of research, had a lot of help from my friend and roommate who's done a ton of terrariums. He has specifically done terrariums for a lot of lizards. No insects or arachnids, but the general principle stands for how you build such a space. I'm not going to go super in depth on it because this is not really my realm of knowledge, but generally, if you want a space to be bioactive, you need to create several layers. So like the first layer is your drainage layer. That's where all the water that you pour into the terrarium is going to go down into and become sort of like, if you think about how well water is drilled into and found under the surface of Earth everywhere, you can find water. So that's your like base water level for everything in the tank to survive. So you have a drainage layer, which is usually like clay pellets or something similar to that. And then you have a layer of charcoal, usually, specifically because springtails live on charcoal, and springtails are very good at cleaning a tank and creating a bioactive sphere that works together. And then you want some netting in between that and your substrate. So your substrate is what your plants need to live inside of. So that's your soil for your tank. And then you put your plants, you put decor, specifically safe decor, and you're all pretty much set. Leia, why are you such trouble?
Leia! Honey bun.
Hey,
No.
No getting.
Not cat safe.
No. Now, one of the biggest things with my tank design is that I wanted it to feel a little gothic, a little spooky, but also be very beautiful. So I found online this laser cut wood gothic window that's meant to be put in dollhouses, and I just thought it was so gorgeous and fit the theme so well. So I absolutely had to get it, and I hot glued it to this foam piece that is often part of setups like this. Specifically, the foam is often used as a backing for the terrarium. My terrarium does not have a back, specifically because I got an octagon case and I just felt like giving it a back would take away from the shape and the styling of it. Hello, my beautiful baby. We're about to put you in to your new enclosure. Now, I'm gonna give her time to come out of her little inner enclosure out into the bigger enclosure. This is part of the reason I wanted to expand her to such a much larger space, is simply if the kitties could leave my stuff alone. You guys are so nosy. So nosy. Both of you. But I'm gonna let her expand on her own time. And that's part of the reason that I wanted to give her such a larger enclosure. Especially because I've never moved or held a spider like her before. I just thought that this would be easier and less stressful for her. So hopefully she comes out on her own time. I'm going to have to find something to cover this because the cats want to sit on top of it constantly. But yeah. Her little tiny toes. Little tiny toe. Little butt. Little tiny toe. I then proceeded to put a time lapse up and wait about 30 minutes, and she moved a tiny smidgen, and I really would like to be able to access my phone, so I ended up making a very specific decision about her placement.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Pink.
So I've recorded her for 30 minutes and she did not move. So I'm gonna get a little more drastic and try pushing her a little bit. Not heavily, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Get her to come out. But I don't want her to attack my paintbrush, but I just wanna. Hey little lady, I need you to come out. Come on. Sorry, I'm not trying to irritate you, but... Oh. Back up. she's a little closer to coming out. She really does not want to come out of there. She's gonna give me trouble. Come on. I don't want to force you out, but you're taking a long time. Oh, sorry. I scared you. Okay, then come out the other way. If you don't want to come out one way, will you come out the other? She says no. She's not coming out. No matter which way, she's not coming out. She's still small for the cage, but I think it's a good thing. And she has lots of space to grow. Now, generally, you would get your cleanup crew before you put your tarantula in the terrarium. However, it took me a long time to be able to get said cleanup crew because there's not a lot of places in my area that actually sell them physically in store, so I had to order them online. But I got them, and they were only in the tank maybe a day or two after she was in the tank, so not much time without some cleanup crew to make sure that the decay was being taken care of regularly. I really love that she chose the orchid blossoms as her hidey hole. She currently has now webbed them all up, not completely, but the majority. And I was going to end this video here, but then I caught her in action and I wanted to share it with you guys. After her stealth kill, she makes her way back up to her little hidey hole and consumes the tiny cricket. These are probably the fattest crickets I've ever gotten for her, so I think she's very satisfied, and I think she enjoys the versatility of her new enclosure and how much space and availability to hunt it gives her. So I'm very excited to have seen this and caught it on film. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know this is totally outside of my normal wheelhouse, but I had a lot of fun documenting it, and I love my spider so much. So I may or may not post more of this sort of content in the future, but either way, I hope to see you back again soon.
Leave your troubles behind and party all night.